welcome back to InsideFlix. We're going to be doing our box office report. Rich, go ahead and tell us which films made the top 5 at this past box office.
The number 1 film in America is Barbarian with $10.5 million. Coming in number 2 is Brahmastra Part 1 with $4.5 million. Number 3 is Bullet Train with $3.3 million. Number 4 is Top Gun Maverick with $3.1 million. And rounding out the top 5 is The Invitation with $2.6 million.
Yes, Barbarian was a big sleeper horror hit that a lot of people loved. A lot of critics loved it. A lot of audiences love it. So I'm expecting it not to really drop that far next week. So I think it's going to have a strong second week.
Yeah, the movie itself did well. I mean, considering it didn't have that much press or, marketing in the first place.
But it has really good word of mouth.
That's true.
And Brahmastra did pretty well as well, having the strongest theater average of the weekend. I think I read the movie's only being shown in 3D, so I mean that's going to limit the screens.
Raymond, what you think about Barbarian for its second week?
Barbarian, I'm hoping it has a strong hold. It has a small drop next weekend. I saw the movie and I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite movies so far this year. But I think the Woman King is going to be a big hit next week, and I think that's going to maybe take away from some of its box office.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you'll still have a good hold.
Let's look at the rest of the top 10. Rich, give us the rest of the top 10.
In 6th place this weekend was DC League of Super Pets. Coming in number 7 is the faith-based film Life Mark. Number 8 was Beast. Number 9 is Minions: The Rise of Gru. And number 10 is Spider-Man: No Way Home, the 2022 re-release.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy the big drop that Spider-Man and Jaws had this weekend. It kind of shows, that people are willing to go see, re-releases of movies, but they're not going to pay full price for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Specifically, those two movies were helped by the $3 event day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they both had 75% drops.
But speaking of overall numbers, this was a pretty terrible weekend. I think it was the second lowest of the year.
Yes, but you also have to consider that like a lot of the movies in the top 10 are already available to watch at home. Some on Blu-ray, some available to rent digitally, and the only really movies that there were to watch were Brahmastra and Barbarian, which are both made for specific audiences.
And in fact, this week is going to have a variety of new movies. Let's get into it. Let's look ahead at this Friday. Which movies are coming out this weekend?
Opening up wide this weekend is Pearl, the new horror film from A24, and See How They Run, and The Woman King.
So The Woman King's getting a lot of buzz, especially that they had just premiered in TIFF, and so it's getting a lot of critic buzz. So I'm thinking that's going to be number 1. I think it's already projected to be number 1 this week with 15 million. I think that number may be a little too high.
Yeah, I think so too. But I do think it's going to make over 10 million.
Yeah, I was thinking more like 10 to 12. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm thinking as well.
Is Pearl going to be a big hit?
I want it to be, but I don't think it will be. I mean, the movie looks awesome, and every time I go see a movie in theaters, it seems to have a great reaction from the audience. But I mean, you could say the same about X. I thought that was going to be a huge hit, and it wasn't. But I don't know. I mean, I'm going to see Pearl this weekend.
It's funny because this is from writer-director Ty West. He came out earlier this year with X, and he just announced that it's going to be a third addition to this trilogy now with Maxine, which is coming out later, maybe this year or earlier next year.
And that one's going to be 10 years after X.
Right. So that's going to be a direct sequel to X.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very interesting trilogy that I'm not sure a lot of people are watching it, but there's certainly there's a lot of buzz, and maybe they're finding these movies on VOD or whatever. But yeah, I'm very curious to see if Pearl is going to be a big hit this weekend. So what's your feelings about See How They Run? This is a Searchlight Pictures film with Sam Rockwell and Saoirse Ronan. It seems like a screwball comedy type of film.
It's a murder mystery, right?
Right. I think if the picture was any good, they would have did some screenings for it. So I think it's just going to be, just in and out. Just might as well have been straight to VOD.
Yeah, I think Richard's right. I mean, the marketing for the movie has been extremely poor. I haven't been seeing any buzz for it at all. So I think the movie will probably come in at probably number 7 or maybe number 6 and the top 10, mostly because there's nothing in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a small possibility, there is a small chance that this could be like a honk for Jesus situation where it doesn't even land in the top 10.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to get just lost in the shuffle here. Let's talk about limited release. Rich, tell us what movies are coming out on limited release this weekend.
Opening up in IMAX screens is Moon Age Daydream from Neon Pictures. That's the David Bowie pick. Also is the Francis Ford Coppola's Tucker, the Man in His Dream. That'll open up in a very limited release, but it's well worth the watch. And new films are The Silent Twins with Letitia Wright, and God's Country with Dandy Wayne Newton, and Confess Fletch. That's the John Hamm Fletch reboot from Paramount Pictures.
Yes, Confess Fletch, which a trailer came out like maybe a couple weeks ago, caught me off guard because I didn't realize they made a Fletch reboot.
Yeah, that's the one that Kevin Smith has been trying to do forever, and
with Jason Lee or something as the star.
Yeah.
So this was always in production hell or in the development for a long time. What's your feelings of Fletch? I mean, this was a huge hit in the '80s with Chevy Chase.
Mm-hmm.
But now we got John Hamm.
Spawned a sequel,
right? Yeah,
that no one liked, and yeah, I mean this trailer I thought was horrible, but the movie seems to be getting decent reviews. I don't think it's going to really help, man, because I don't think there's any awareness for this movie at all.
Yeah,
I don't think there's really any nostalgia even for the original Fletch.
The film is directed by Greg Mottola, who did Superbad and a bunch of other good films, including Adventureland. So it might be decent. I mean, so he also helped with the screenwriting. So
good reviews, but
the one movie that I think in limited release kind of caught my eye was the Moon Age Daydream. This is the David Bowie biopic that was much buzz about, and I believe it's
a documentary, right?
Yeah, it's a documentary. It's a which I think, for David Bowie fans might be very interested in seeing it because it has some archival footage. It looks pretty good. It's getting a lot of buzz, and also, it's a really good time to maybe go back to see some of his earlier stuff and get to know his music again.
And this is the film that was authorized by David Bowie, and so it's got all his music in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So before we go, I just really quickly wanted to say that we got a couple movies coming out streaming. We got Goodnight Mommy on Amazon and Do Revenge on Netflix. So those are two movies that you could stay home and watch at home. Yeah, that's about it. We'll come back next week to see the box office results for next week, and we'll talk about the movies that are coming out next week as well. Thank you for watching InsideFlix.